I don't see where they had the there we
go. It's not live on LinkedIn this time.
Oh, I know why. Okay. Yeah. When I join after you're live, I have no controls, which is fine. But I got to remember that.
Oh, once I hit live?
Yeah, once you go live, that's fine. That's just
like you're really okay with that? Because we can shut it off and jump back in.
No. I'm totally okay with that. I'm just wondering why it looks a little different now than the last time.
And I mean, nobody's on, right? Oh, somebody's on. Somebody just hopped on.
Awesome sauce.
That's cool.
Okay.
Right, oh, don't close this. Get this all situated here. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. Happy 7:01 p.m. Eastern time, gentlemen.
Thank you. Good to be here.
It is. And it is excellent to be here. I have a new light rig. Nice. So yeah, it's nice. It's not too obnoxious, and it's working perfectly. So I'm happy about that. It attaches to my desk, which is a electronic raising and lowering desk. So I needed to get a light rig that attached that way. I used to have one mounted on the wall. That didn't work. And if you put one mounted on the floor, that won't work either. So this is the way to go. All right. So to be respectful of everyone's time, we're going to go right for it. I'm really excited to present myself and my two awesome colleagues. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this week's evening webinar, part of the webinar series that we've titled, hopefully appropriately, The Freedom Fix. We have reached out to try to impress upon fractional professionals, service professionals, coaches, consultants, anyone serving anyone in the local community with a lean, small, or singular team. We believe we have something for you. My name is Billy Courtright. I am the CEO and founder of Giver Media. We are located right here in Atlanta, and we help service professionals just like you to grow their resources by way of marketing automation and AI lead generation. We also have a full CRM platform as well as web hosting and development if that is what you need. The purpose of today's webinar is to teach you about what it means to leverage technology to grow, specifically AI and marketing automation technology. So I will be speaking to you for about 15 minutes after I introduce my two colleagues. The next one up for an introduction is my very good friend, colleague, and mentor as it pertains to everything video and visual. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Graham Kuhn of Focus Films.
Hi, everybody. Happy to be here today. I'll be handling the video branding seat, talking about the power of video in business and how we can use it to set ourselves apart from competition, from our competitors, and stand out in crowded marketplaces. And when you see me looking this way over here, I have my laptop. I'm acting as the producer of the webinar, and so I'm monitoring LinkedIn and Facebook and all that. So I am paying attention to my boys, but if I'm looking over here, I'm still working. All right, so glad to be here. Thanks for being here, everybody. And now I'll kick it over to my buddy, Andy Robinson. Oh, Andy, you're muted.
There we go.
There we are.
Yay. All right. Thank you, Graham and Billy, and to our guests. Thank you for giving us some time on a Tuesday evening or afternoon, or might be morning, depending on where you're calling in from. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
My name is Andy with LFG Mindset Consulting. People become what they think about, and this is very true. We know it. There's tons of experts out there that share very witty ways that we can understand that that's the truth, but what does that really mean? And are we leveraging those ideas to get what we actually want? So I help people really grow into the next versions of themselves. So I'm looking forward to sharing with you, similar to what Billy said, for about 15 minutes this evening. during our call to just share some ideas with you that you can use to, level up to the next version of yourself and get more fulfillment, more purpose, more income. Not necessarily a bad thing. We don't mind it. And just more joy, more abundance in your life. So very excited to be having this conversation with all of you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Love that word more. We referenced it today on the social posts, more. It is absolutely the intention of today's conversation. So again, I'm Billy Courtright, and the way this is going to go is I'm going to teach for about 15 minutes, hand it off to Graham, who's going to teach for about 15 minutes, who's going to hand it off to Andy, who's going to teach for about 15 minutes. So if my voice appears sleepy or annoying, just hold out or grab yourself a cup of coffee and grab a quick bite and come back, because I promise you, you won't want to miss a minute of Graham. And if you had to go take a shower and come back and you only got to hear Andy, I think that would be a good use of your time too. But here we go. I'm about to get this show on the road and we'll see how that works. Okay, everybody seeing my screen? Whoop, where'd that go? Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. You see my screen okay, Graham? Just thumbs up. Awesome. Here we go. Okay, the title of my portion of the teaching this evening is AI-powered lead generation. Just suffice it to say, if you are a small team, lean team, fractional professional, single entrepreneur, solopreneur, I think they're called, you are interested in growing. You are interested in leveraging technology to get more leads, more opportunities, and hopefully more time. So although I exist in the space of marketing technology, AI automation, and the like, we're going to focus on how you as a lean or slim team can reclaim 20 or more hours a week back into your life, while at the same time tripling your lead conversion rates. If you're engaged in lead generation, great, this is going to hit home. If you're not engaged in any lead generation, stay tuned, because we're going to show you how you can leverage AI to do it absolutely amazingly. Here we go. All right, so the lead generation crisis. It's been said, and I believe it, that lead generation today is about a $67 billion challenge, specifically for small business. Businesses may waste up to 75% of their entire lead gen budget, according to the Sales Nexus, annually, just working on the wrong prospects at the wrong times. So if you're a team, if you have someone helping you out with lead generation or communication, or if you're doing it by yourself, you're likely spending almost 3/4 of your entire work week on lead generation. I just got a disconnection notice. Can you guys still see me? Okay.
Yeah, I can see you. I hear thunder. So we might have some weather issues again. Oh, I think Billy locked up.
Yeah, I have some thunder too.
Yeah. So we'll just hang in there and roll with the punches while Billy gets his situation rectified.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was just putting a note in the chat to say, hey folks.
The weird weather. He'll pop back in here in just a moment.
Interesting. I'm back.
Is it the weather? Because we've got thunder up here in Woodstock.
Yeah, there's something going on. But again, I'm going to close that, and we're going to go over here. And I apologize again. One of these days, this is going to be perfect. I just don't know why.
Oh, did you have to get off the app again?
Yeah, I'm not going to use that anymore. I think it's the second time is definitely the time. Please, okay, here we go. Let me present now. I will jump right back in, and here we go. Share screen. Appreciate your patience, everybody. We'll edit this out for the recording. Okay, and there we go. We're back. Okay, as I was saying, there's a crisis in lead generation, $67 billion problem. Businesses may waste up to 75% of their lead generation budget annually, according to Sales Nexus, primarily with inefficient prospecting, qualifying, and leads that just will never or aren't able to do business with you. So that's whether you're a small team, a single team, or even a large team, you're wasting about 73% of professionals are wasting about 40 hours, which is an entire work week on lead gen that just won't work. 2% average conversion rates is absolutely abysmal. And that means 60% of your time is wasted on unqualified prospects. The reality is, while you're manually qualifying leads, your competitors are closing deals. So we're gonna show you how to fix that. Okay, teaching point number 1. Artificial intelligence, I promise you, qualifies leads better than you can. We're going to go from spray and pray to precision targeting. I have a signature keynote that I do where I talk about the 4 pillars of growth. And for those who have seen that talk, this would be the slide where I would go in depth on getting getting your organization fit, fixing all the leaks, making sure that no lead. Oh my gosh, again. This is just beautiful. Sorry, guys. Is that Graham that dropped off now? Or
maybe one of his computers. I'm not sure, but keep going.
I can't. It keeps telling me I got to close. I got a Riverside tab open that I have to close. So I'm going to quit this, and I don't have anything open. So don't worry, guys. I will get through these slides.
Oh, Graham's Wi-Fi went out. Like, ow.
Oh my goodness. Well, we are live, thankfully, and in the beauty of live programming, I'm going to keep going. Again, AI lead qualify, AI lead. Bleh. Okay. Artificial intelligence qualifies leads better than you. We're going to go from spray and pray to precision targeting. And let me explain exactly how we do that. There he is. I lost
Man, my Wi-Fi is going out with this weather. I might be dipping in and out here.
It's okay. Essentially, AI lead generate. I can talk. Essentially, artificial AI lead qualification. We have a traditional challenge, and it's met with an AI solution. Basically, it comes down to this: the recommended best practice for speed to lead. In other words, how quickly can you get to an interested party, either through direct message, text, phone call, or email? Well, the best practices, as indicated, as I've said, by me and others, is that you get to that lead in 5 minutes. The average for sales professionals and fractional professionals is 42 hours. So speed to lead or not having speed to lead is absolutely killing you in that regard. The AI solution is that artificial intelligence can analyze up to 200 points of data in real time. Natural language processing conducts your discovery for you and identifies prospects that are 85% more likely to convert. So it can get to a lead within 30 seconds, not even a minute, and obviously way better than 5 minutes and a heck of a lot better than 42 hours. So 30 seconds of AI qualification is a heck of a lot better than 30 minutes of manual work. So that's what we're talking about with AI lead qualification. Teaching point number 2. Get smart, buy or earn back your time. Automate your routine and amplify your relationship. As a fractional professional, service professional, you know you are in the relationship business. And when you have artificial intelligence or marketing automation or good marketing technology automating your routine, your skimming of your emails, the summaries in your meetings, your to-do list, your follow-through, keeping you on task and accountable to the commitments that you've made, not only to your team, but to your clients. That is what we call getting smart. It's automating your routine so that you can amplify your relationship, because it's your relationship that's going to grow your business faster than anything else. So how do we liberate your time? Well, if 32% of your time is now spent, 32% or more on administrative tasks, just imagine how much you could do when an AI employee was operating 24 hours, 7 days a week and taking all that admin, all that repetitive work, all that stuff that you would very much never have to do again, and get it completely off your plate. So 24/7 lead capture means that AI can be scanning the web, direct messages, post comments and engagements at all hours so that you can put your phone on do not disturb and not have to go back to your social channels all day long. I think Graham mentioned it. Being glued to your social is probably one of the most irritating parts about being a fractional professional or service professional. I know my wife looks at me every time I look at my phone, and knowing that the artificial intelligence or marketing automation is staying engaged with my prospects in real time, scheduling appointments with the most qualified among them, keeps me happy and free, and it gives me the peace of mind to know that the nurturing that these prospects are getting are personalized in my tone and tenor and specific to the needs, wants, or desires of that prospect. So AI can do all those things for you. Now, what is the implementation strategy for all this? Well, for phase one, we need to automate initial contact and qualification. Again, there's no reason for you to be speaking to anyone until it's been confirmed that they're genuinely interested in your product, service, or opportunity, and more importantly, can afford it and can afford it right now. So imagine if the people that got on your calendar were only people that were not only interested in you, but they were interested in you because of the different ways that you uniquely serve them, and they're already ready and willing to write that check. That brings us to phase two, which is the implementation of intelligent scheduling, making sure that in order to get on your calendar, they've met minimum criteria that you set. So you could spend your 3 to 5 hours in front of clients, talking to perfect clients that view you not only as a solution, but specifically the solution for them. So that's phase two. And of course, phase three, we will help you to deploy predictive follow-up sequences. This is the nurturing process. The best way to explain this is you only pay the cost to acquire a lead one time. So your ability to continue to speak to, nurture, and engage that opportunity over time, continually giving them high value information, inspiring them to take the next step, sharing with them the case studies and the client advocates that you have in the marketplace, sharing their stories of the work and the results that you provided for them. There's no better way to bring a lead to a customer status or nurture them through the buyer journey of know, like, trust, try, buy, repeat, and then refer, than deploying predictive follow-up sequences where you could essentially automate that buyer journey and then keep track of all the data all along the way. And that brings us to teaching point number 3, the revenue acceleration model. This is from costs. We're going to take your marketing, specifically your communications, and bring them from a cost center to a profit driver. And the way we do that is quite simple. We take what has been working in the past, and we leverage technology and automation to make it work better and more efficiently. So traditional cost right now associated with lead generation, specifically in our space of fractional professionals, is anywhere between $200 and $500 per qualified lead. Now, for a lot of folks, that's a decent price to pay for a lead, because if you have high ticket sales or longer engagements or contract work, you may see it as, hey, I can afford $500 per lead because I have a $2,500 or $5,000 sales or price point. But if it takes 6, 12, or 18 months, time could run out before you have the necessary revenue to kind of get yourself in a place where you're on a firm footing. AI-powered results not only bring down the cost per lead. We're experiencing a giver qualified leads in the fractional professional service professional space of about $50 to $150 per qualified lead. And at the same time, we're seeing conversion improvement of up to 400%, which means we're actually handling about 10 times more leads in the same amount of time and making a heck of a lot more money for our clients. And we can teach you exactly how to do that. A lot of that has to do with the fact that you're only talking to people who are interested in and can afford your service, which in my opinion is the first big domino, as Tim Ferriss would call it, that one giant domino that we could accomplish or knock over to make every other issue either unimportant or irrelevant. That is certainly it, in my opinion. It allows you to compound your effect, which is to better qualify, more quickly respond, and grow a lot more scalably moving forward. So, okay, final teaching point number 4. how does this look like? What does this look like? How would you implement this roadmap, this 90-day AI integration plan? So if you've ever seen me speak before, we talk about the 4 pillars of growth: get fit, get smart, raise revenue, expand margins. This is the expansion of margins part of the course. Now, there's a couple different ways that you can expand margins. You can expand margins by spending less to make money, and obviously your gross margin would be the difference between what you spent to earn that business and what you actually took in with that business. But even if your top line revenue remained absolutely consistent, didn't change a dollar, but you could achieve that top line revenue in a third of the time, would that qualify as an expansion of margin? A lot of people would say it would. That's even more valuable. If you could make the same amount of money you're making now in a third of the time, imagine what you could make in the same amount of time with these efficiencies. So you can expand margins in 1 of 2 ways. But here's the 90-day roadmap of implementation that we recommend. We recommend that you, in the first 2 weeks, develop a relationship with a CRM. Get yourself a CRM that, like Salesforce or HubSpot or SharpSpring or Monday or High Level or Giver. Get yourself a CRM. Get it integrated with your social channels. Get it integrated with your Google Business Profile, your email and text communication solution, certainly your phone and VoIP solution. But you need to get some integration, because the only way this AI can work is if it has somewhere to live. And most of this data is going to live within a really strong and robust customer or client relationship management software. You also have to look at multi-channel deployment. It's got to be everywhere. You need to be gathering data from Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, Pinterest, wherever your clients are. That's where you need to be integrated and implemented. We call that multi-channel implementation. It allows you to work from one platform to make sure that your messaging and your communications go everywhere, but come back to one place for efficiency. And this also allows for what we call AI model training, which is if artificial intelligence is watching you and all your communications, wherever you're communicating, it's getting smarter and smarter and smarter over time, because it's reading all these comments and all these replies and the direct message strings and your email strings. And yeah, it might sound a little Big Brother-ish, but if Big Brother could give you some big revenue boost, it's probably worth the time. So in order for that to work, we need to go through that, or you need to go through that in the first 2 weeks. Once we get into weeks 3 through 8, we're talking about lead scoring. And if you're manually lead scoring right now, you're probably not doing a great job, because the system that you would have to implement and the time that you would have to invest to go everywhere to see every minute of video these prospects are consuming, every social channel they've liked, subscribed, or followed or engaged with, every email they've opened, every page on your website they viewed, how much time they spent on that website page, which communications are they interested in, what podcast did they listen to, which ones did they share with their friends or colleagues. So when you have this level of understanding and transparency, that's the kind of lead scoring that artificial intelligence can provide. That's the difference between good and great, in my view. So we want to make sure that you are aware of the lead scoring refinement that exists, and you get it into your system right away, because you will see that's what conversion optimization is all about. It's smart understanding of who's ready for that offer, who doesn't require a deep discount, who's ready for a consultation or a conversation, who's going to pick up the phone when you dial. That's what lead scoring is all about. And we at Giver, amongst other companies, have automation systems in place that can get that handled for you right away. If you have a team, partner with somebody that can train your team, because there are people on your team that are better equipped and better suited and more excited to do the things that you never want to learn how to do. So when you can delegate to have people on your team exercising in their zone of genius, leveraging their strengths for your benefit, that's, in our opinion, when the magic really happens. So you want to know in that middle section that the team has to be aligned and along for the ride as well. And then in the last 30 days of this 90-day roadmap, you need to be analyzing information. It's all about build, measure, and then learn. And then once you learn, improve. And if you're not managing the key performance indicators, the leading indicators, the lagging indicators, the metrics that matter, and the line that you need to be above or at to compete with your competitors, you're missing out on an opportunity. And that's what advanced automation is all about. And that's how we measure true return on investment. So that's what we would advise for a 90-day roadmap. And again, to sum up, and apologies for the technical difficulties, but that's what happens, and we roll with it. So are you ready for a freedom fix? Are you ready to fire your boss, sign your check on the front, and just take a chance, take a swing. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and just think about that shot that you're looking at right now. There's nobody better than you right now. So you need to really believe in yourself and move forward with that. I think Andy can help you with that for sure. The choice is yours. Status quo, continue spending 40 hours a week on manual lead gen for abysmal results, or transform your business by implementing an AI system that works 24/7 to grow your business. Hopefully your key takeaways from my talk were that you can reduce your work by about 75% while improving quality of leads, focusing on high value client relationships, not administrative tasks. See a 200 to 400% return on investment improvement achievable within 1 quarter, and scale any business at any time with these principles. My name is Billy Courtright. I want to express sincere gratitude for the attention and time and patience you've afforded me during these first 20 minutes, not 15, maybe even 22, because we started and stopped a few times. That QR code is simply a way to access my calendar. You can scan that QR code, jump on my calendar. You can grab 30 or 60 minutes. We can grab coffee, or either over a Zoom or a Google Meet, or maybe even if you're in the Atlanta area, we can get together here north of the city where I kind of hang out. So again, I appreciate your time. Billy Courtright, founder and CEO of Giver Media, where marketing and technology serve you. And I can't wait to meet you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my distinct pleasure and honor to hand my time over to the one and only Mr. Graham Kuhn.
Thank you, sir. I'm just getting my screen up and rolling here. Righty. And I should hit share screen. What is that you always say, Billy? We are a technology company. So good. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here tonight. My portion of the presentation is to talk about videos that win. So what does that mean? First of all, I'm Graham Kuhn. I own Focus Films, a video production company in Woodstock, Georgia. And we're going to talk about videos that win. They're not just videos that are pretty. They're not all about the visuals, but they generate real business results. I like to say that I make videos that make my clients money, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Video is not just another marketing tool. It is literally the most powerful business tool in the world. And you can fight me on that. Righty. Before we start, 2 things that I absolutely live for. Number 1 is the first time my clients see their brand story video after we've gone through the interview and we've gone through the edits. Then I'm like, here's your first draft. And they have tears in their eyes and they're just like, I absolutely love it. This is the best feeling in the world, because I know that we hit all the right markers there. But then the second favorite thing is when they text me a few weeks later and they go, I just booked a new client because of that video. And a story I always like to tell is one of my clients woke up with an extra $6,000 in her bank account because of a video, because somebody was tooling around on the internet, fell on her website, saw her brand story video, fell in love with her, paid the money. My client wakes up $6,000 richer the next day. So video is pretty awesome. It's not just about looking professional. It's about connection. And that's what drives everything in business. So I want to be clear what we're not talking about. These days, everybody's about user-generated content, short-form content, social media, likes. That's all they care about. That's not what we're talking about today. We're not talking about TikToks. We're not talking about Reels. We're not talking about social media content. We're talking about evergreen video marketing assets, videos that will sit on a website and do the selling for you 24/7, longer form, storytelling. Social media and short form is great for getting engagement, but if you send people to your website from that engagement and there's nothing for them to look at, no conversion. Social media gets the engagement, send them to the website, brand stories, testimonials, long form content. That's where your conversion's at. It's about when your website's getting traffic at 1 a.m, like my client, this video is there doing the work when you're not there. So what separates videos that actually win from all the rest is that it starts with understanding that it's about strategy. It's about understanding how to use videos in a business to either save time or make money. It's not about the production quality. It's not about cinematography. So like I always say, I'm not a videographer. Like I don't just make pretty shots. I'm a business person who understands Videos are a tool to replicate yourself, to save time, to make money. Video is just a business tool. It's not about spending 5 hours with the perfect coloring, making the shadows this color and the highlights this color because that's what Scorsese did in the whatever. Like, it's not about that. Most videographers think about lighting and angles and all that stuff, but I think about psychology and how messaging connects with people and how their brains react and how to really suck somebody into your world using video. A lot of people have read like Story Brand, and they understand like the hero's journey, and they understand tangentially story, but they don't know how to bring it to a video and make it work for them. So my superpower is really just getting business professionals to speak authentically on camera, be relaxed, and tell their story in a way that resonates and is genuine and authentic. Like, I mean, I work with really brilliant people in their industries, but when the camera goes on, they freeze up. And so then that's when I turn on and I start to get them to come out of their shell and to get them to speak authentically. And within 5-10 minutes, they completely forget the cameras are there. And then when they see their first draft, they're like, how the hell did you make me look so good? And I just say, I'm freaking awesome. What are you going to do? But video is the only medium that can convey competence, personality, and trustworthiness all at the same time. Like if you post something on LinkedIn, people be like, whoa, that person's really smart. Or they see your new headshot or a photo of work you've done. Wow, it's really professional. But video is the only thing that can show somebody who you are, the essence of you. They see you moving, they hear you speaking, they feel your emotion. Video is the only thing that can do that, to create that connection and make you irresistible to work with. I have to work with that person. I watch their video, I feel connected to them, I have to work with them. So I like to say, when do you call me? It's when you need results, period. And I know that's very vague and it's a platitude, but this is how we get results. When you absolutely need 30, 60 seconds to get that whale client, that's when you call me, because video is not just a marketing tactic. It's the closest thing to being there in person. It's when somebody watches your brand story, they're essentially having a conversation with you, and they're deciding if they like you, if they trust you, if they want to work with you. And where relationships drive everything in what we do, video gives you an unfair advantage. So your competitor is sending proposals, they're hoping for the best, but your prospects are watching your video and they're getting to know you, and they feel like they already know you. So here's a big way that I get results: by using story advantage. And I know you hear that all the time, like, tell your story, tell stories. What the hell does that mean? Well, let's talk about it. So if you look around LinkedIn or you look on websites or see what your competitors are posting, everybody's talking about their credentials, about their expertise. It's all about them. I mean, it's basically them posting their resume. This is how great I am. Look at all the accolades that I have. But nobody cares about that. Like, it posts something about, I've been doing this job for 15 years, and then a bunch of corporate speak like, I optimize this and blah blah blah, and everybody's sleeping by the time they get to the second paragraph, and they click off it. So your prospects don't care about your accolades in your resume. All they care about is, can you solve their problems? Can you understand what needs to be done, and understand their world? And if you've helped anybody like them before, if you can get them the results you need, that's all they care about. They don't care that you've been a CFO for 15 years. So when you shift to story, everything changes, because stories make you memorable and they make you shareable. It makes you, your clients will literally send your videos out. Like, I will always tell my clients to share their brand story videos on their personal Facebook page. And they go, well, I was always told to keep my business and my personal separate. Well, I'm like, you have this warm network on Facebook. It's your friends and family. They want to see you succeed. You put out a kick-ass brand story that resonates with people. Your mother-in-law may not hire you, but she's going to share that with all her friends because she's so proud of you. And then her network is going to see it because it's good, it's memorable, it's emotional. And so it just expands your network because it's so shareable and memorable. So the goal is, when somebody in your network is looking for your service, They don't run to the internet. They don't run to Google and go, so-and-so near me. They immediately think of you because of the stories that they've heard, that they remember who you help. And that's the power of positioning yourself through story. Like, you may do 1 million blog posts on your website. People might bookmark them and forget them. But the videos, they get remembered and shared. All right. Nerdy stuff, science, neuroscience, brain. That's why it matters, people. But there's real science behind this stuff and how I do it. Memory is emotional, like we were saying. It's not logical. People don't remember facts and figures and data. They remember how you made them feel. They remember the stories. So think about your own experience. Like, what do you remember more clearly? Like, you're sitting at a conference and somebody's got a bunch of data up there and bar graphs and charts and all numbers and percentages, or when they talk to you about a challenge that they overcame and you can just resonate with that and you feel it. It's the story. That's what resonates more than charts and graphs. So when somebody watches a brand story video, they feel something, whether it's inspiration or relief or connection, or they just really like you. That emotional connection is what drives their decision to hire you. Logic makes them think, but the emotion is what makes them act. So I want to talk to you about the authenticity framework. This is something I've developed over the last 6 years, and it's really part of the getting results for my clients. It combines like Simon Sinek's golden circle with starting with why instead of what, Aristotle's influence methods, and neuroscience and how the brain works, and about how people actually make decisions. So it's not some just trendy marketing hack. It's stuff that's worked for like 2,000 years for influencing people. And here's why our videos don't just look good. They actually convert, because we're not just making pretty videos. We're not just making beautiful cinematography. It's actually strategic business tools that work while you sleep. So the authenticity factor, it is your AI proof advantage. I mean, authenticity is not just nice to have anymore. It's absolutely essential when we're talking about the AI age, because right now AI it's everywhere. And this is the biggest shift in content creation ever. AI can make perfect copy instantly. It can create flawless graphics in seconds, and it makes polished presentations without human input. Like, it's really amazing. But what it can't do is it'll never be able to replicate genuine human vulnerability. It can't create personal stories. It can't generate authentic emotional connection. I mean, yeah, it can write you a kick-ass about us page, but it's not going to share that story about how you were in your kitchen at 2 a.m. and you just decided that it was time, that you wanted to help more people and you wanted to start your own business, and your father was a 3rd-generation builder and you decided it was time to take that chance. You're not going to get that from AI. You get that from story. You get that from video. And that's the only way that it can be done. So I want to talk to you about your competitive moat, which I didn't change the typo on this. Dang it. Sorry, that'll get some engagement. But in a world that's flooded with AI, you want to talk about your moat around your castle, your protection, protecting you from competitors. Your competitive moat is authenticity, just being a real freaking human. Like, that's what it's all about. Those are the people that are going to stand out these days. Not the most beautiful video, not the most perfect lighting, not the most awesome transitions. It's the people who are freaking real and are humans, and you're going to build that connection. So authenticity becomes your competitive moat. It's easy. So while everybody else is making really creative, perfect, polished AI generated content, it all looks the same. You're going to be showing the real person behind the business, and that is the real person that people want to hire. So think about this. When anybody can create professional content with AI, it just levels the playing field. Nobody stands out. So showing the real person behind the business, that becomes the advantage. Authenticity, your hesitations, your genuine emotion, you realizing that you spelled competitive wrong on the slide the last 4 webinars and I haven't fixed it yet. That's real shit, man. That's the thing that proves that you're human. And it's in this increasingly artificial world. being human is incredibly valuable. So video captures all of this in a way no other medium can. And I mean, you can train AI to write like you, but it will never be you on camera. So that's why I've developed these 3 specific conversation techniques that capture what AI never can. It's how I interview my clients to get them to talk about the things that matter and say the things that resonate with people. You've got the curiosity hook, the redirect technique, and the emotional bridge. It just gets people to share genuine human moments without being scripted, without using a teleprompter, without looking in the camera. It's just telling stories about who they are and why you should hire them. So I'm not going to go into detail about those, but I just want you to know that those exist, and those are the techniques that I use to get people to be comfortable and talk about their story on camera. So I love this example because it just smacks you right in the face of how boring so many people are online. Let's say you posted, I'm a fractional CFO with 15 years of experience helping companies improve their cash flow, and all the boilerplate bullshit that I said before. But then think about this. Picture this on video. Fractional CFO is saying this. 3 months ago, I watched a $2 million company almost collapse because they couldn't see the cash flow crisis coming. The owner called me at 9 p.m. panicking because his accountant had just told him he might not make payroll. And I got to tell you, that's the call that breaks my heart because it's completely preventable. So which one of those makes you want to read more, learn more? Obviously the story. It connects so much more than me telling you my resume of being 15 years CFO and I do this and that and that. They feel like you can help them. The trust is there. And the pattern is simple. It's problem plus emotion plus resolution. That equals memorable content, where most people skip the emotional part. And that is the most important part about it. Most videos will do the feature benefits formula, but if you leave out the emotion, it just doesn't connect as hard. So, and this isn't my opinion. This is based on psychology and how people make decisions and what makes content memorable. And so the authenticity framework does something completely different than most video people do. Taps into how humans are actually wired to connect, trust, and remember each other. So that's why my videos convert. That's why I get results, period, as I say. It's more than just getting views and getting likes. It's connecting with people and converting. So the future, as AI makes content creation easier for everyone, the companies that are going to thrive are the ones that double down on what AI can't replicate. And that's exactly what the authenticity framework delivers. So while everybody else is competing with AI, you're leveraging your humanity as your greatest asset. And that's all I've got. And like Bill, there's my QR code to grab a virtual coffee with me. No funnel, no sales, no discovery calls. Just, hey, let's chat. You got questions about the authenticity framework, about video marketing, anything at all, schedule virtual coffee with me, and I would love to talk with you. All right, let's stop sharing and turn it over to Andy Robinson. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks so much, Graham. And yeah, so let's jump into it, right? Mindset mastery. Like I said at the beginning, people become what they think about. Who believes that? Anybody believe that? Put a 1 in the chat if you believe it. Raise your hands. Can't see if you're not Bill or Graham. Unfortunately, we get to see their mugs. But you know, people become what they think about, and people don't get what they deserve. People don't get what they work for. People don't even get what they want. They really just, a lot of times they're getting the results that their self-image that they have for themselves gets. That's the wild thing. But if people become what they think about, then we can be more intentional about how we think, and we can have a whole different experience. So let's jump into this a little bit here. Power of mindset. When we talk about the numbers behind mindset, you know, 85% of success in life is driven by mindset and people skills, not the technical skills. So even though your technical skills might be awesome, you know, you really need to have those people skills, and even more importantly, have the right mindset to succeed. 8% of people achieve their goals. That's pretty sad, if you ask me. But it's true. And most people fail not due to a lack of resources or lack of ability or a lack of opportunity, but they fail due to their mindset, which is just wild. And 400% more productive. That's how much high performers achieve when their mindset puts them in a flow state. So when you are obsessively focused on who you're becoming, and you know who that is, and you know where you're going, and you know what your goals are, and you're jazzed about those goals, you're super excited about it because it's in alignment. Yeah, that's how you unlock that 400%. Your reality, your success, your fulfillment is dependent upon your mindset. Now, the truth is that something's holding you back. Like you're wanting change, and you're wanting increase in your life, and you're wanting abundance, and you're wanting growth, but it's not happening, and you're working really hard. We've been there, and a lot of us are still there. So why? What are the main reasons, the blocks, the mindset blocks that are causing you to stay stuck? One is the lack of goal alignment and clarity. You can't reach destination if you haven't clearly defined it. You don't know what you're shooting at, right? And it needs to be one that you're really aligned with, like you're genuinely aligned with. So what causes a lack of goal alignment and clarity? Most people are chasing goals that aren't even theirs. So if you're working for someone, or you're just going for goals that you think are kind of important because that's what you're supposed to do, that's not your true, like, aligned goal. And that sucks. I mean, we've all done it, right? We've all had the KPIs that we had for our boss that we had to do, or we had to get the sales numbers, or we had a quota. A quota is the worst, right? Without it being for you, it's just there's not the clarity on it. You don't know what it feels like. All you know is that it's going to get your boss off your ass, and that's not fun. Without deep clarity and emotional alignment, goals feel heavy, and the progress feels forced. Like, man, I gotta call all these people so I can get these, 3 insurance policies done this month, right? And when your outer ambitions don't match your inner values, you burn out. Like, if you just feel like you're going for more without knowing who that is that's achieving that more, you just know that you need to make more money. You need to make 10% more money or 15% more money. You're going to burn out. Now, what are some solutions? Get radically clear on who you want to become. Like, know that person. Know the person that's achieving your goal naturally. Align your identity with the vision so success becomes natural and not forced. Like, that's just what that person does. And you have to rewire your inner dialogue to match the life that you're creating, not the one that you're escaping. It's not about, I was talking to Graham before we got on this, and, it's all-star game tonight in baseball. And it's like, we know how it works, right? Like, if the baseball player goes up to bat and they say, I don't want to strike out, I don't want to strike out, I don't want to strike out, they strike out. Why are we doing that with our lives? If we can tell a 10-year-old kid not to do that, but then here we are in our career and in our life, and we're doing that same exact thing, right? So aligned goals feel energizing, not exhausting, right? Clarity is the ignition switch for momentum. Like, once you have clarity around where you're going and who you want to be and who you're becoming, shit gets real clear. Block number 2, an outdated identity. You're trying to create a new future with an old image. And there's Nicolas Cage and John Travolta in the 1996 thriller Face Off. Such a good movie. But your outdated identity, your self-image got you, the self-image that you had previously got you to where you are today. And it's not going to get you to where you want to go. You're going to have to adopt a new self-image, a new identity, right? So if you still see yourself as the striver, not the achiever, or the survivor, right? Not the thriver, you're going to be stuck. If you want to say, oh, I'm a survivor, guess what? You are going to just survive. And that's exhausting. You're changing habits without changing your identity, right? You start going to the gym, but you still don't really identify as someone who is prioritizing their health. Well, you're probably not going to go to the gym very long. You're chasing results without becoming the version of you who owns them. So like show up like, yeah, I'm that guy or I'm that gal, right? So mindset solutions, redefining who you are at the core, aligning your self-image with your vision, and step into the energy of the result before it arrives. Show up to the gym like you have the body that you're working to have, but before you get it. Conduct the sales call like you already got the sale, even before you got it, right? Build the business with the energy of someone who has a successfully running, thriving, cash flowing business, even before you have that experience. You don't get what you want, you get who you are. And that starts inside of you. And block number 3, your unconscious inner dialogue. You're talking to yourself all the time. And that's what sets the thermostat for your life. Most people are arguing for their limitations. Like, isn't it? First off, it's kind of wild that you can have an argument in your own mind, which is crazy. But like a lot of times it's like stupid arguments. Somebody's back there is voicing up saying, oh, you can't do that. That's not for you. It's just wild. Saying things like, I'm not ready, or what if I fail, or people like me don't do things like that. Right? Change the way you talk. I may not have all the answers, but I'm ready. Every step forward is building the future I've already claimed. This version of me creates new outcomes by choice, not chance. And let me speak one other thing, because we are also speaking to entrepreneurs about this. If you've gone out to make your own business in the past and maybe it didn't work out, that doesn't mean that you're a failure. And I don't care if you set out to make one type of business 6 months ago and realized that wasn't really aligned with you, or 3 months ago and you realized that wasn't really aligned with you, and now you want to do something different, and now you're gaining more clarity. You're not broken and you're not messed up. A lot of people carry shame when they go out on their own. They're like, oh yeah, it didn't work out. And if you do any research on people who have really been successful, like the billionaire level of success, dude, they failed so many times. So stop saying things like people don't like me, don't do things like that. You don't know that. What if it's not true? Your next level isn't found in louder effort. It's found in quieter beliefs. So look, why should you listen to me about this? Like, who am I to tell you this stuff? So a little bit about me. I grew up in New Jersey. My wife and I met in the 1900s. Our kids think it's hilarious that they can say that the parents met in the 1900s. But I joined the Marine Corps right out of high school in 2001. And my wife and I started dating in 2003. I went to my first deployment to Iraq in 2004. And then again in 2006. And in the middle there, I got married. I'm 23 years old at that time in 2006. And I'm doing crazy cowboy shit all over the world. And I'm loving it. And 23-year-old. And if you remember being 23, whatever you do at that time is probably a huge, like that is all your self-image is wrapped up in, whether you're a college athlete or, a service member or whatever it is, like that's who you are, right? And you're just really kind of falling into that. And that's who I was. Now, before I joined the Marine Corps, I didn't really have much discipline. I didn't have much personal standards. I went through high school. I kind of did my homework. I never really read. I passed the test. I was one of those students that could pass the test without really learning any of the material. So I just did that. After the Marine Corps, I had several people that were drill instructors that were holding me accountable. And then eventually I started having my own personal standard about things. And when I had my own personal standard of excellence, I started graduating at the top of every school and every class that I was ever a part of. So that was a shift in me. That was a new skill set that I had. That is a new, important part of my kind of experience. But here I was in Iraq in 2006, running around with my friends doing things. And on June 19th, 2006, I was a Marine running around doing crazy cowboy shit. And then on June 20th, I wasn't anymore. My truck got blown up by a roadside bomb. And I got jacked up real bad. I broke my neck and my ribs and my legs and a lot of things. And I spent 7 months in the hospital. And all of a sudden, that 23-year-old that was so sure of his self-image of who he was and who he was supposed to be and what he was supposed to be doing, I can't do any of those things anymore. So who am I now? And who am I going to be now? And I had to ask myself a lot of really tough questions and start to decide things. Mindset is a choice. And some of the choices that I could have made in that moment, I could have moved back to New Jersey with my wife, and I would have had my parents and her parents and my siblings and her siblings and our cousins and our aunts and our uncles. And we would have had people over the house all the time to make sure that Andy was taken care of and had what he needed and got to his appointments. And I wouldn't have to drive, because guys that use wheelchairs don't really drive. And I wouldn't have to go to college or have a career, because I was going to get disability from the VA, and they said that I couldn't really work. So why would I work? And I was married for 1.5 years at the time. So my wife married this one version of me that was I was 21 when we got married, but I was physically fit, running all over the place, Marine, and now I'm not going to do that again ever. And what's that going to be like? And is she still going to want to be with me? And can we have kids? And I don't know if I can do any of that. But then I held myself to a personal standard, and I used the discipline that I had learned in the Marine Corps and understanding the power of my mind. And I started with some new ideas. Instead of that, how about we just move back to California? My wife and I continued to live our life independently. We knew no one out there. What if I learned how to drive? What if I did get my bachelor's degree? That would be pretty cool, actually. And you know what? I really enjoyed the work I did in the Marine Corps, and I enjoyed having an impact. I think I would really like to have a career or do something of impact. And maybe I would decide that I do want to have a great relationship with my wife. And I decide that I can. And I decide that I do want to have kids, and I can. And when I set my mind to all those things, and I start building the self-image of the person who's living that life and having those things, after a while, I have all those things and I live that life. I learned how to drive a stupid, huge 8-mile-to-the-gallon Ram 2500 because I'm still 23 and I'm too cool to drive a minivan. I drive minivans now. They're really awesome. But I got my degree. My wife and I have a great relationship. We figured out how to live our lives independently. We had kids. They're now 13. They're kicking my ass, but that's what I wanted. I got my degree. I got a career. I worked in finance for a decade. I built a business line that from scratch that does $20 million a year now. At any point, I could have said, oh, that's not for me. I don't do things like that. And then I wouldn't have any of this. So if you're sitting there and any of those 3 blocks or others are holding you back, it's really just a change in your mindset. Now, that's easier said than done, but it's easier done when you do it with someone that knows how, that can coach you, that can hold you accountable. You've heard the podcast, you've read the books, you've gone to the Tony Robbins 2-day event. He's great. I love him. He's awesome. He doesn't come home with you, and he's not texting you to see if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. But having someone to hold you accountable until you can hold yourself accountable, until you have the proof that you could do that stuff, that's important. But each transition in my life required a mindset shift, and it wasn't about learning new skills. It wasn't about reinventing. It wasn't about learning new skills. It was about reinventing who I believed I was and I could be. And that's exactly how it's going to work for you, or how it may have already worked for you once or twice in your life. So how does it work? What things do we do? Everything starts with the mind and the way we think. We need to identify your purpose and your desire and your goals, and understand the habits of who that is that's achieving that goal naturally. Be mindful of how you talk to yourself. I can teach you how to get rid of all fear. What would it be like to not be afraid of anything? And how to take decisive action. Adopting an infinite mindset, understanding that money is just an idea. I worked in finance for a decade, and I can still say that money is still just an idea. And they're just printing it. So yeah, clearly it is. But there's so much power in giving, but then also how to audit your inner circle. We build on each of these topics so that you have an indestructible, bulletproof mindset that launches your growth and helps you get the results that you want. So similarly to Graham and Billy, please feel free to scan my QR code here for a virtual coffee or water. I need to hydrate more. But you can have whatever you want to drink. And we can chat about the mindset and where your mindset is and maybe some shifts that you might be able to make to improve it. But that's me, Andy from LFG Mindset Consulting.
Wow. Guys, we are making a difference. We are definitely making an impact. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart how incredibly grateful I am that you two would carve out an hour on a Tuesday night to get up here and share, the passion and the information, everything we have, everything we do, share it with people in hopes that we strike a nerve. Somebody hears this at the right time. That's the hope. Listen, we're committed to creating a movement. We're excited. We targeted coaches, consultants, fractional service professionals because we believe that they're capable of tremendous impact. The world needs us, and we're typically running lean. We're doing everything. We're doing everything we can, and the reality is there's a way to do it better. And with a beautiful brand story, a rock solid bulletproof mindset, and leveraging a little bit of technology to automate your messaging and your communications, we believe that you can achieve your grandest vision. And that's why we're doing this, and in hopes that we can create a community around Atlanta and then further out, and then that we can start to have live events and workshops. And sure, if we could help you directly, we'd love the opportunity to serve. But we're having fun, we're getting better, and most importantly, we're going to keep coming back. So I, on behalf of Giver Media, Billy Courtright, would like to express sincere gratitude for the time that you've given us to watch this live stream or attend this webinar or hang out with us on social media. And if this was valuable to you and you got something out of it, please don't keep us a secret. We'll be coming twice a week, if not more, for the coming 90 days until we host an in-person event here in North Fulton County, Georgia, where hopefully you and your team and those you work with can come and meet us in person and really see the level of impact that we can provide. But again, those are my thoughts. Graham, what are yours?
I just want to thank everybody for being here, and same as you, so much gratitude for you guys and doing this, because my passion is just helping people. And I told somebody the other day that all this knowledge that I've gotten and experience I've gotten about developing brand stories or the story of your brand or your messaging, if I just keep that to myself, what's the point? Yeah, I can be successful and all that, but to me, it's so much more fulfilling, and there's so much more value in sharing it with other people, and that ripple effect that will compound. Like that's what I really love about doing this, is just giving away any kind of wisdom I might have or anything that will help people. And so I just really love doing this with you guys.
Bring us home, Andy.
Now it's great to be able to share, and great to be in good company with folks that really want to help others, share, educate, and equip. What's really important is that we're equipping people to be able to do more with their lives, or just get an idea to marinate on, that can also change their lives and make it better. You should be, the more choice we can make, the better, right? I think that's important. So looking forward to more of these, and seeing everyone in the future.
Awesome. All right, y'all, I'm going to stop the stream. Y'all have a good night. Make sure you share with your friends, tell them about this, and we'll be back, I think on Thursday, but stay tuned. Thanks, everybody.